Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows an overall upward trend with fluctuations. The RSI consistently remains above 50, indicating a bullish sentiment, though it has approached the oversold level of 20 on a few occasions. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility and potential for significant price movements. Considering the support at 109,600 and resistance at 119200, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on this trend. We will implement a long position when the RSI dips below 30, signaling an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, let's initiate a long position on July 21, 2025, at $118,500. Our stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band, at $117,400, to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $119,200. If the price reaches this target, we will move our stop loss to break-even, $118,500, and set a second target at $120,000. This strategy balances risk and reward, leveraging both RSI and Bollinger Bands to identify optimal entry and exit points while incorporating support and resistance levels for added confirmation. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a strong upward trend. The price has consistently been increasing, and the forecast for the next week predicts further growth, reaching $4,200. The RSI consistently remains above 70, indicating overbought conditions, but the persistent upward momentum suggests that the buying pressure is strong enough to sustain the rally. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, indicating increasing volatility and a widening price range. The price is currently near the upper band, suggesting potential for a pullback, but the overall trend remains bullish. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price for this long position should be $3,620, coinciding with the support level and the start of the forecast period. A stop-loss order should be placed at $3,540, just below the recent low, to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price should be $3,740, aligning with the first forecast price. If the price reaches $3,740, consider moving the stop-loss to break-even to protect profits and potentially adjust the target price to $3,890, based on the subsequent forecast. The strategy combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, with the RSI consistently above 50 and frequently entering overbought territory, peaking at 88.9. The Bollinger Bands have also widened, indicating increased volatility and a potential continuation of the upward trend. Given this, I propose a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on the ongoing momentum. We will initiate a position at $3.46, utilizing the forecast price from July 21, 2025. A stop-loss order will be placed at $3.35 to mitigate potential downside risk, positioned slightly below the recent support level. Our target price will be $3.91, aligning with the forecast price for July 27, 2025, representing a substantial potential gain. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider accumulating more XRP at the prevailing market price. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 75, suggesting an overbought scenario, we will partially realize profits and adjust our stop-loss upwards to protect gains. The Bollinger Bands will serve as dynamic support and resistance levels. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, while touching the upper band suggests a possible profit-taking or hedging strategy. This combined approach, blending forecast data, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB exhibits a strong upward trend. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and recently breached the 80 level, suggesting an overbought condition. The forecast prices project further increases, reaching $820 by July 27, 2025. Considering the recent overbought signal and the potential for a pullback, I recommend a strategy that capitalizes on the ongoing uptrend while managing risk. My proposed strategy is to enter a long position at $748, coinciding with the initial forecast price. Given the recent overbought RSI, I will place a stop loss at $732, slightly below the recent low, to protect against a potential short-term correction. The primary target price will be $805, aligning with a key forecast level. If the price continues to rise, I will adjust the stop loss upwards to protect profits and consider a secondary target of $820, based on the final forecast price. This strategy combines the strength of the upward trend with risk management techniques to maximize potential returns while minimizing losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has been consistently moving upwards, supported by the forecast predicting further increases to $192. The RSI values, while fluctuating, generally remain above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently trading near the upper band, suggesting a potential for a pullback, but the overall trend remains positive. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $178, placing a stop-loss order at $176 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $185, aiming to capitalize on the short-term upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $176, setting a stop loss at $174 and a target price at $180. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will enter a long position at $174, with a stop loss at $172 and a target price at $178. For the main strategy, once the target price of $185 is reached, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $178 to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. This combined approach leverages both trend following and mean reversion techniques to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin exhibits a clear upward trend. The price has consistently been increasing over the past 2 weeks, supported by rising RSI values and the Bollinger Bands expanding, indicating increasing volatility and potential for further gains. The forecast for the next week projects continued price appreciation, reaching $0.302. Given the current RSI nearing overbought territory, above 80, and the price approaching the resistance level of $0.332, a strategic approach is needed to maximize returns while managing risk. Therefore, I recommend a phased entry strategy focusing on pullbacks to utilize the Bollinger Bands and RSI. We will initiate a long position at $0.247, placing a stop-loss order at $0.236 to protect against sudden reversals. The initial target price will be $0.283, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $0.283, we will move the stop-loss to $0.266. Subsequently, we will set a second target price at $0.302, capitalizing on the projected upward momentum. This strategy combines trend following with volatility-based entry and exit points, aiming for high returns while mitigating potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast indicates continued growth. The RSI is currently above 70, suggesting an overbought condition, but the strong upward momentum and projected price increases warrant a bullish strategy. I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.832. The stop loss should be set just below the recent support level at $0.818 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price is $0.903, aligning with the first forecast price and providing a reasonable profit margin. To further refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been consistently trading above the upper band, confirming the strong bullish trend. If the price approaches the center band, consider adding to the position to capitalize on potential rebounds. The second target price should be $0.936 based on the forecast. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider a partial profit taking and a tighter stop loss to secure gains while remaining in the trade. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy offers a high probability opportunity for substantial returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows an overall upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within the support level of $0.303 and the resistance level of $0.326. The RSI has been consistently above 60, indicating a bullish momentum, and recently reached overbought territory, suggesting a potential pullback before further gains. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, indicating increased volatility and potential price swings. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy focused on capitalizing on pullbacks while maintaining an overall bullish outlook. My strategy involves a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $0.314. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.303. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $0.326. If the price breaks through the resistance, we will adjust the stop loss to the entry price of $0.314 and set a new target price at $0.33. This approach allows us to benefit from the upward trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop loss placement and dynamic target adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, Stellar demonstrates a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $0.48. The RSI consistently remains above 70, indicating overbought conditions, but the price continues to climb, suggesting strong bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, further confirming this trend. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $0.458, with a stop loss set at $0.43, just below the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price will be $0.499, aligning with the forecast for July 27, 2025. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 30, it signals an oversold condition, which is not observed in the recent history. However, if it does, we will enter at that price, setting a stop loss at $0.41 and a target price of $0.52. If the price reaches $0.499, we will move the stop loss to break even at $0.458 to protect profits. This portfolio combines the trend-following strength of the Bollinger Bands with the momentum confirmation of the RSI, aiming for high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sui shows a clear upward trend with consistent price increases over the past 2 weeks. The RSI consistently remained above 40, indicating bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price appreciation, with prices ranging from $3.93 to $4.05. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will utilize a combination of RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels for enhanced precision. The entry price for this strategy will be $3.93, coinciding with the initial forecast price and a favorable entry point within the upward trend. The stop loss will be set at $3.79, just below the recent low of $3.84, providing a buffer against potential short-term pullbacks. The first target price will be $4.01, aligning with the resistance level and a reasonable profit target. If the price surpasses $4.01, we will adjust the target to $4.05, reflecting the upper end of the forecast range. This strategy combines technical indicators with price action to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently tested the support level of $534 without breaking it, indicating strong buying pressure. The RSI values fluctuate between 53 and 68, generally suggesting a moderately bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices predicted to reach $563, a bullish strategy is warranted. I recommend a long position strategy with an entry price of $500. Given the strong support at $534, a stop-loss order should be placed at $534 to limit potential losses. The first target price should be set at $547, aligning with the recent high. If the price reaches $547, consider moving the stop-loss to break even. For a more aggressive approach, a second target price can be set at $563, based on the forecast. This strategy combines the momentum of the upward trend, the support level, and the bullish forecast to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Lido DAO demonstrates a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently rising, breaking through previous resistance levels. The RSI has crossed above 50 and is nearing overbought territory, indicating strong momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price should be $1.1, coinciding with the start of the forecast period and a relatively low point in the recent trend. A stop-loss should be placed at $1.05, just below the recent low and below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $1.35, aligning with the forecast high. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30 during the forecast period, indicating an oversold condition, we should consider adding to our position at the prevailing price, with a slightly adjusted stop-loss. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or higher, suggesting an overbought condition, we should consider taking partial profits at $1.26 while maintaining the remaining position with a trailing stop-loss near the top of the Bollinger Bands. The portfolio will prioritize the long position with dynamic adjustments based on RSI and Bollinger Bands, aiming for high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Celestia shows a clear uptrend, consistently breaking through resistance levels. The RSI values are generally above 50, indicating bullish momentum, though fluctuating around the 60 mark. The Bollinger Bands are widening, suggesting increased volatility and a potential continuation of the upward trend. The forecast for the next week predicts further price increases, reaching $2.24. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price should be $2.03, with a stop-loss placed slightly below the recent support level at $1.9. The initial target price should be $2.17, aligning with the previous high. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at $1.86, with a stop-loss at $1.77 and a target price of $2.03. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, indicating an overbought condition, we'll consider a short position, but given the overall bullish trend, we'll prioritize the long strategy. The most efficient portfolio will involve primarily long positions, capitalizing on the forecasted upward movement, with opportunistic entries based on RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pyth network demonstrates a clear upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band center line, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI values have also generally increased, although they have remained below the overbought level of 80, suggesting that the asset isn't currently overvalued. The forecast data further supports this trend, predicting continued price increases. Given these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $0.134. The stop-loss should be placed slightly below the support level at $0.136 to protect against potential pullbacks. The initial target price should be set at $0.146, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches this target, consider moving the stop-loss to break even to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. The final target price should be $0.152 based on the forecast. This strategy combines technical indicators with forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, JasmyCoin shows an upward trend. The price has been consistently moving higher, with the RSI indicating a move towards the overbought territory. The forecast for the next week projects continued price increases. Considering the support price of $0.0184 and the resistance price of $0.0205, we can formulate a strategy that leverages this upward momentum. The RSI is currently around 75.7, suggesting it is nearing overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands are also widening, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.0179. Given the recent upward trend and forecast, a reasonable stop loss would be set just below the recent support level at $0.0168. For the target price, we can aim for the resistance level of $0.0205, providing a significant potential return. The RSI approaching 80 suggests a potential pullback, so taking profits at $0.0205 would be prudent. This strategy combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin exhibits a clear upward trend. The price has consistently been increasing over the past 2 weeks, supported by rising RSI values and the Bollinger Bands expanding, indicating increasing volatility and potential for further gains. The forecast for the next week projects continued price appreciation, reaching $0.302. Given the current RSI nearing overbought territory, above 80, and the price approaching the resistance level of $0.332, a strategic approach is needed to maximize returns while managing risk. Therefore, I recommend a phased entry strategy focusing on pullbacks to utilize the Bollinger Bands and RSI. We will initiate a long position at $0.247, placing a stop-loss order at $0.236 to protect against sudden reversals. The initial target price will be $0.283, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $0.283, we will move the stop-loss to $0.266. Subsequently, we will set a second target price at $0.302, capitalizing on the projected upward momentum. This strategy combines trend following with volatility-based entry and exit points, aiming for high returns while mitigating potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat demonstrates a clear uptrend. The price has been consistently making higher highs and higher lows, supported by the Bollinger Bands expanding. The RSI has been fluctuating but generally trending upwards, indicating strengthening momentum. The forecast for the next week shows continued upward movement, with prices expected to reach $1.23. Given these factors, I propose a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on this upward trend. My strategy involves entering a long position at $1.11, coinciding with the start of the forecast period and a slight dip from the recent high. The stop loss will be set at $1.08, just below the recent support level and the lower Bollinger Band, to protect against potential pullbacks. The initial target price is $1.18, aligning with the forecast high and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $1.18, we will move the stop loss to break even to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. If the price continues to rise, a second target price of $1.23 will be set, based on the forecast. This strategy combines technical indicators with forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena shows a clear uptrend with consistently rising prices. The RSI values have been above 50 for the majority of the period, and recently breached 80, indicating overbought conditions. However, given the bullish momentum and the forecast predicting further increases, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on pullbacks. We will utilize a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands to identify optimal entry points. The support price of $0.455 acts as a crucial level to watch. The forecast for July 21, 2025, at $0.43 presents a potential entry point. The strategy involves entering a long position at $0.43, placing a stop loss just below the support level at $0.44 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be set at $0.48, aligning with the forecast for July 23, 2025. If the price reaches $0.48, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.43 to secure profits and manage risk. Further, if the price continues to rise, the second target price will be $0.515, aligning with the forecast for July 26, 2025. This approach combines technical indicators with forecast data to maximize potential returns while effectively managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Arweave shows a clear uptrend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band center, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI values have mostly been above 50, further confirming the upward trend, with a recent push towards overbought territory. The forecast for the next week predicts continued growth, with prices reaching $9.2. Given this analysis, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $7.87, with a stop loss set at $7.71, just below the support level. The initial target price will be $8.6, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at $8.21, setting a stop loss at $8 and a target price of $9.2. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or above, signaling an overbought condition, we'll consider taking profits or reducing our position. The most efficient portfolio will be a combination of these two strategies, balancing the potential for high returns with risk management. This combined strategy provides a robust approach to capitalize on the ongoing uptrend in Arweave. Based on the historical data and forecast, Conflux exhibits a strong upward trend. The price has consistently climbed from $0.0737 to a forecast of $0.217 over the period. The RSI values have mostly been above 50, with a peak of 92.3, indicating a bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.144, placing a stop-loss order at $0.12 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $0.183, aligning with the forecast price and a reasonable profit target based on the current trend. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider adding to our position at the prevailing price. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 70 or above, suggesting overbought conditions, we will consider taking partial profits. Furthermore, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could be a buying opportunity, while a touch of the upper Bollinger Band might signal a potential pullback. Therefore, we will adjust the target price to $0.217 if the price continues to rise strongly. This dynamic approach, combining trend analysis with technical indicators, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively.